Hi, welcome. My name is Elena and I'm the creator behind Fabel Knitwear. I am here with a brand new pattern, the fourth pattern from my Heirloom Collection, which has been published throughout 2020. It's here and there is only one left. After this, there are 5 patterns in total. This is the fourth one and I'm wearing it, as you can see. It is the Gibson Ruffle Blouse. The name kind of hints at its inspiration and the inspiration's origin. The whole collection, I've spoken about this before for my other patterns, so if you've heard it before, I apologise. But there has been so much inspiration for me looking at silhouettes and details, styles of the past, and then particularly the turn of the 19th to 20th century, so the late 1800s and early 1900s running up to 1930, but mostly several of my patterns thus far, 3 of them in fact, the antiquity blouse, the heirloom jumper and the Gibson Ruffle Blouse are all inspired by the Edwardian era, so pre-1920s era roughly, and it is just my absolute favourite style of clothing, and the aesthetic and everything is just perfect in my opinion. We all have our favourites, and so just really diving into that era and drawing out the silhouettes and the lace and the gossamer sheer fabrics, or the structure, and trying to interpret that into knitwear and modern knitwear that you can knit using modern techniques and that you can wear styled with a pair of jeans if you want. That's just been really fun, and so I'm super excited to share the Gibson Ruffle Blouse. Many of you will probably be familiar with the Gibson girl, some in detail and some will have heard the term, and I'm sure even if you don't know what I'm talking about, you will have seen pictures like these. These were girls or women painted, or drawn I should say, by Charles Dana Gibson, which was an American illustrator. Also, I'm not sure if you pronounce it Dana or Dana. Anyway, he was an artist and illustrator, and this style of drawing became very popular in the 1890s and upwards, and it's a drawing of a woman or a girl usually with a big like pompadour or just big voluminous hair, wearing a variety of clothing, but there are many simple white shirts that button up, and there's ruffles. They're usually portrayed wearing skirts in a contrast colour, long simple skirts, and they were the sort of personification of, like, at the time, this is a beautiful young woman who's very fashionable, and it's always had this appeal to me. I love this aesthetic. That's the whole inspiration from it, and I think it's just such an iconic look, stupid moped, of the time. When you see that picture, you will know, even if history is not your thing, that that's roughly the time. That's what you're thinking about. And so that's the vibe I wanted to try to capture. I wanted a ruffle, and I wanted that sort of pigeon breast, the just that whole posture that those women are portrayed as having. And so this is the result for me. The ruffle is obviously the star of the show, and there are many beautiful vintage examples, antique examples maybe I should say, of blouses with ruffles from that time period. So let's talk some more technical things with this Gibson Ruffle Blouse. It is knit top down. It starts at the neckline. The neck is actually knit the same way that the Heirloom jumper is. So you start back and forth, and then you join in the round. There's a button at the back, I'll show you in a bit. And then you start knitting out. You knit this shoulder seam, run straight down the shoulder, and then sleeves. This is the shoulder seam right there. And it has this lace and seed stitch pattern at the upper chest. So there's seed stitches on each side there as you increase, and this very simple, elegant lace pattern at the front. The ruffle is picked up at the end, although I will admit I was way too impatient to wait until the end, so I did it once I'd separated for the sleeves and the body. So you can do that as well if you just want the joy of watching the ruffle as you knit the body and the sleeves. The body is cropped and it is tight fitting. It has a twisted rib hem. The neckline is also twisted rib, and the cuff is twisted rib. The sleeves are slightly blousing, not overly much, a little bit. I could probably have done more. I'm quite tall, and this is of course open to adjustments as anyone wants, depending on how you prefer yours. And the cuff is quite long. It runs all the way up to where my forearm gets bigger, and it's also knit in twisted rib. So this creates hints at that silhouette with the blousing sleeves and the ruffle. The jumper itself, or the blouse itself, is knit in Fabel Knitwear Athena, which is my hand-dyed yarn. It is my merino nylon gold stellina fingering weight base, and it's just divine for this. It's the colour Pearly Grey Ghost, which I love. I've talked about this grey before, you know my love for it, with the gold stellina. And then the ruffle is knit using mohair silk. This is also knit in my hand-dyed yarn in the same colour, so Pearly Grey Ghost for both. The ruffle is such fun to do. It's quite voluminous, and there's loads of increases happening throughout, and then you finish it off with this really simple lace pattern. I will come closer and show you in a sec. And that's all the technical details of this pattern. Seeing as it's cropped and fingering weight, you really don't need all that much yarn, which is good. I have also knit it in Pickles Merino Bliss and their silk mohair in this beautiful red colour, which I believe might be called Chianti, but I'm not 100% sure. And I really do love this version as well. Here you can see the lace pattern, which creates this really nice kind of waffle effect, and a closer look at both the straight seams running down the shoulders as well as this. I would really like to knit one of these with a higher neck. For winter, I think that would be really, really elegant, just the most elegant and feminine, and just all those adjectives, kind of turtleneck with the ruffle. I think that would be really, really nice. And you can do that by just continuing this for as long as you like, and then adding the buttons at the back. You could use the instructions for the Heirloom jumper and just do that to the amount of centimetres in that pattern, for instance, or just wing it as you go, but I would really like to do that. All in all, I had such fun designing and knitting up this project. I have said all there is to say about it really. I'm so pleased with it. I really hope you like it. The pattern is available on Ravelry and Etsy. You can head over to fabelknitwear.com and it will take you all the places you can buy it. It will suggest yarn and everything. Yarn, any fingering weight yarn and lace mohair will do the trick. Just mind your gauge as always. I want to show you some outfit suggestions. Let's have a look. That's it. I hope you like it. Maybe you saw some outfits that you would like to be inspired by or try to recreate. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you like the Gibson Ruffle Blouse. I'll see you next time. Bye.